What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Doc. As always, it's your boy Doc. We are back in this thing. It is Monday after Father's Day, and it is also Juneteenth. So, as y'all see, we are back in this thing, and I just seen a comment. We doing good. We doing good. How you doing, Miss Mary? How you doing? What up, Jamie? The email. Oh, let me give you my email. What's going on, Amber, Mr. Buckley? So, trying to figure something out right here. But I want to know how everybody's day was yesterday for for Father's Day. My my youngster, my young baby girl, she came and got me some she made some cupcakes, some Oreo cupcakes. And so basically that's what I had, and she made me a homemade card. So that was my Father's Day. Went on my sister's house, and pretty much that was it. Other than that, that was it. I really didn't do too much. One, but to everybody, make sure happy Father's Day to everybody that I didn't get a chance to say that to on yesterday or over the weekend. So it's a great day. It was a great day for all the fathers, all the, it ain't just got to be real fathers. It's, you know, fathers deserve some sort of um deserve some sort of credit for procreating. That's how I see it. It might not be the way that you want it to be, but like I said, you here. I took you to Ruth Chris, man. I've never been there before, but yeah, what we got up here? Deputy Mario, what's going on? Black Fathers Matter, yes, sir. Miss Minifield, how you doing? Happy Juneteenth. Yep. Juwan, what's good? But we having a good old time. We had a good old time yesterday. Uh, we had a good old time yesterday. Y'all have to excuse me. My contact is bothering me. So if it look like I'm it sound like I'm sniffling it, or look like I'm crying, I'm not. It's my contact. But as always, we are in the building. We are here to talk about some good old football because we are just almost a month and a half away from kickoff from football to even be here. I'm ready for it. I'm ready. I don't know about everybody else, but I'm ready for football coming up. We got 52 people in here. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you comment, share, and most of all, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to get everything HBCU Overdrive. And also, you want to join the family. We got two tiers: Overdrive Blue, Overdrive Purple. So either which one you want to pick out is up to you. But in all, we all family. That's how I see it. But before we do that, before we get into tonight's show, we're gonna go ahead and get that commercial from our sponsor. HBCU Overdrive is proudly sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.org. At WeWorkForEverything.org, this is for those who are trying to build for a dream with their latest hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and accessories and more. You can have it all here at a reasonable price. Black owned and operated out of the great state of New York. Like I said, get suited and booted. Check it out at weworkforeverything.org. Peace. And we back in this thing, and we back in this thing. This is HBCU Tonight, episode 20, in correlation with HBCU Overdrive. We are back in this thing. So, yep, as always. Who else we got that came up in here? Jay White is represent Alabama A&M. What? What? Man, look, hydration is the key. I'm in Texas, y'all. Now, remind you, we'll be in Mississippi on Thursday. All right. I'm in Texas. We've had an excessive heat warning for like the last 6 days. And not only excessive heat, the storms that came through over the weekend, last week and over the weekend, we had some of those storms out here, but it was also humid as hell here. I only time I experienced humidity like that was when I was in Mississippi, but it was humid to the point where I ain't want to sit out on my patio and smoke my cigar. And if I don't want to do that, you know something up with the weather out here, man. It was hot. It was hot to the point where shoot, even my mama was cussing everybody out. What's going on, Steven? Y'all already know the owner of HBCU Game Day is up in the building right here. B-Rod, what's good? What's good, man? Franklin, what's going on? Yes, it is. It's hot as hell here in Dallas. It is hot than the dog's ass here in Dallas, man. I'm not playing, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's hot out here. It's hot out here. But yeah, we are in it for it. We're in it to win it. But like I said, this is HBCU Tonight, episode 20. Y'all already see what the title says. It's Happy Juneteenth, Moderator Appreciation, and we got more news going on. First and foremost, if I didn't do this first, if I didn't do this, I would be doing myself a disservice. And y'all know that I am a big music fan, and since I am from Texas, you know Dallas should be exact, but I'm from the state of Texas. First and foremost, I want to give my condolences to the family of Big Pokey. If you don't know who Big Pokey is, all you have to do is just get you a screw tape brought to you by DJ Screw. And I'm gonna say this: Big Pokey came out with one of the best albums, and by far from the group, the hardest pit in the litter. Um, Talking about a man who was pretty much not that older than me. He's only he just turned 45. I'll be 44 this October. And football player, played at Blinn, I think he played at Abilene Christian, but he from the south side of Houston, Texas, over by Yates High School. He was raised up in the Yellowstone neighborhood. We talking about a man that gave us one of the greatest quotes of all time in hip hop, in Southern hip hop. No, not Pokey Bear. No, we talking about Big Pokey. We talking about Screwed Up Click. Talking about Texas. Talking about H Town. We talking about DJ Screw Homeboys. Talking about if one thing, if you ain't see Big Poke, you seen Big Pokey, you seen Big Mo. They ran in the crew. They was all friends. But Big Pokey had a line that is synonymous with Texas rap, with Southern rap. And he said, sitting sideways, boys in the days, on a Sunday night, I might bang me some Mays, maybe OJ's. You gotta listen to that, and I'm gonna listen. You gotta listen to it. I can't play the song because I don't want to get hit with copyright, but it's the June 27th freestyle, and he had a 6 minute flow on that part on that song, and out of everybody, he was the best one on there. But to say that this man did doing what he loved to do, this man was on stage performing at a Juneteenth celebration in Beaumont, and he died on stage. He collapsed and died on stage doing what he loved to do. So, like I said, man, like I said, he is synonymous with Texas rap. You can't get no better than that. Like I said, if you seen my on Twitter, you seen what I put on there, like the song, like he 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 liked that. But yeah, man, rest in peace, man, to this man, wonderful man. So husband, father, everything, and it's crazy to happen like the day before Father's Day. That messes everything up right there. That messes everything up right there. So it was just crazy. It's just crazy to hear about that. Um, and it's so crazy. It's only probably like three original members of the SUC that's still alive. The original members. We talking about Lil Kiki. You talking about Cino from the Botany Boys, and I think the last one is ESG, and he's been having health problems himself. So keep them dudes in your prayers, man, because they pioneers for Texas hip hop, Texas rap, and Southern rap all together. Like those are, you know what I'm saying, people listen to, looked up to, and you know, you get your swag from them. Oh yeah, he more tell him man, but he more like Pimp C and Bun B. Yep, yep. But yeah, it's crazy. But and like I said, just pray for his family and everything. Cause like he was young when he left us. So get on to another note, man. But happy Juneteenth to everybody. Happy Juneteenth to everybody. And y'all already know Juneteenth is a celebration. It really is a Texas celebration. It has always been a Texas celebration. Um, June 19th, 1865, which was supposed to be read earlier than that, but because Lincoln got shot and he got assassinated, it was delayed and later on 1865 that General Gordon General Granger of the Union Army um, touched base in Galveston, Texas, and basically freed all the slaves. I mean, well, I say free, but emancipated all the slaves. Uh, and I tell this day, you know, well, till like a couple years, what, like last year or so, year before that, Juneteenth was a Texas celebration. We've always celebrated Juneteenth. It because ain't no school or nothing like that, but we all always just celebrate Juneteenth, have some barbecue, some people come around. That's our, to us, black people in Texas, that's our Independence Day. But um, shout out to Miss Opal Lee. She's from Fort Worth, and she is to us, she's the mother of she's the mother of Juneteenth. She fought hard to have Juneteenth recognized by the federal government. It happened, which it should have happened a long time ago, but it happened. Um, and you got always had celebrations. We had, you had parades, whatever we had out here. That's what we had. Now it's celebrated on a federal level. Um, and to me, I think some people don't really take it seriously. Um, I don't think people take it seriously because I don't think people actually know the actual history of Juneteenth. Some people feel like Juneteenth is just another day, which it is to some people, but to us, it's like we'll still be in bondage here in the state of Texas. So, but happy Juneteenth. I hope everybody goes out there and teaches a young person what Juneteenth is. I told my child yesterday about what Juneteenth is, and she kind of like, oh, I didn't know that. That's how she was. She didn't know, but she likes knowing about different things, and um and I am more than happy to teach her that about, what I'm saying, to teach her about um Juneteenth. So so let's get off on that one right there. Now I got hit up by my boy Stephen Gaither on Twitter, and he came up to me and he was like, he put out the HBCU game day put out their preseason poll, and he wants to know how the audience, my audience, y'all will react to it, and how y'all will, what I'm saying, how y'all would basically, um, what is your opinion about it? What is your opinion on a on the preseason poll that they put out? This is from HBCU Game Day, right? So, let me see if I can get this pulled up right here. Yeah, let me pull up the. Here you go. And I want people's opinion. I want y'all honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? Let's take the emotion out of it, y'all. We don't want everybody don't need to be too emotional. So let's take the emotion out of it, and let's kind of go through and see what we got right here. All right, all right. 2023 preseason HBCU game day staff FCS poll. So see who gets the pressure, who gets ammunition. Let's see, y'all. Uh, 2023 HBCU football season is swiftly approaching, and once again, it's time for the HBCU Game Day Staff FCS poll. We debuted our HBCU Game Day Staff FCS and Division II polls in 2022 and came up with some interesting results, providing ammunition for some and overrating others, while a few fell exactly where we thought they would be. Here, here's how here they are now. Excuse me, I'm tongue tied. So, number one on the list. Number one on the list is North Carolina Central. Number one on the list is North Carolina Central. So this is what they did last year. Last year they left Central off the list because 21 they really didn't have a good season. But last season, they were 9-2 in, I would say, the regular season before they got into the bowl game. Only two losses that they had were to Campbell and to South Carolina State. Pretty much ran roughshod throughout the whole MEAC. Defeated Morgan State by almost 40 points. Howard, they beat them by 30, if not mistaken. And they steamrolled themselves into the Celebration Bowl. And of course, in the MEAC, there's no championship game. So pretty much whoever wins the MEAC, they go to the Celebration Bowl. Better record, if whatever head-to-head contest and everything. So they had pretty much almost a month. They have pretty much a month off, and then when they get to the Celebration Bowl, basically they ran roughshod. But as we saw last season was a pretty much closer game than what it was. So, and this is from the HBCU Game Day staff, and basically they put in, Central had 76 total points with 6 first place votes, and I'm trying to figure out how much was the first place votes were. I'll ask Steven on that one right there. I asked Steven on that one. What's going on, Coach Perry? So, of course, they started out their season with the Aggie Eagle Classic. They beat North Carolina A&T. Like I said, they ran roughshod. When they played Campbell at that time, Campbell was everything that everybody talked about. Campbell basically came in and steamrolled them by 38. Basically, they had to recover and get back to their winning ways. And also, they got demoted by South Carolina State. But like I said, they were able to win the MEAC because of the simple fact they had a head-to-head matchup, and they won that matchup against Howard. Now, they shared the MEAC title with Howard, but because Central beat Howard, they were the representative for the Celebration Bowl. The most notable piece, everybody knows, the most notable piece that comes back is Davius Richard, the quarterback, who pretty much, to me, last season was the second best quarterback in HBCU football. And number one at the top was Shedeur Sanders. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna say what I say, and that's it. And that's all. It's a two-man race. I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay, you said first place votes was 10, second place votes was 9. All right, I get you. Gotcha. So, second on the list, It's Florida A&M. Of course, like I said, they said the past 3 seasons, FAMU finished 9-2, 2019, 2021, and 2022. But they don't have no conference titles throughout, through that streak. They don't have no Celebration Bowl appearances throughout this streak. Um, Written on there because in 2019 they could have went to the Celebration Bowl, but they imposed sanctions on themselves because of APR. 2021 they got lucky enough to get invited to the FCS playoffs. In 2022 they tried to lobby their way back into the playoffs with no prevail. Now this is Coach Simmons. This is Coach Simmons' fifth, because of 2017. So this is his sixth season at the helm in Tallahassee. And since he's been there, the man only had one losing season. The man only had one losing season, and since he's been there, he has progressed each year. Now, with that progression each year, does it equivalent? Does it equal out to being in the Celebration Bowl? Did it equal to be having a MEAC title or a SWAC title? No, it did not. But it's a good thing it's a good thing that you went 9-2, and you went 9-2 for the last 3 years. But 21 and 22, your biggest opponent to start off the season was the Jackson State in the Orange Blossom Classic. That is your biggest opponent that you start the season off with. Once you're behind, if you lose the game, when you lose the game, you're behind the 8 ball in the SWAC, in the SWAC East to be exact. So I'm just putting it just like this, y'all. I'm putting it just like this. When it comes down to it, at the end, you have to win the Orange Blossom Classic to get yourself to the title hunt. Starting off with an L against, when people say that you try to do it with a rival, which is not a rival. You only played like 21 times. But with a team that you're going to be seeing every year, you have to win the game in the beginning. You don't win the game, you don't. you don't. You're behind the 8 ball. I always say that. And like I said, it's 3 years on the SWAC, and it's not bad for them to go 9-2 the 2 years in a row. So this is the last year of Jackson State being in the Blue Blossom Classic. This is the last year being in the Blue Blossom Classic. So then basically they'll go back to the drawing board and see who they'll play again. They're going to keep the Classic. They're just going to rotate teams in. We'll go back to playing each other home and home. So they are the number 2 team. And of course, the main thing that returns for FAMU is Jeremy Musa. Jeremy Musa, the signal caller for FAMU, returns. Pretty much most of his offensive line is intact. They only lost like a couple of dudes from the offensive line. They get back some guys that were injured last season. Remember, it was 2 offensive linemen that got injured during the North Carolina game. So you'll bring that back, but they don't have Xavier Smith. They don't have Isaiah Lamb, but they bring back Kamari Stevens. They bring back Isaiah Major. They bring back Kendall Bowler. They got Gentle Hunt in the middle of their defensive line. They bring back most of their team. And they did add some few pieces to the team also, but they bring back majority of their team. And that's the reason why they had them sitting at number 2 on the poll, which I can understand. Now here's the next team that's on the list. Number 3 is Jackson State. We talking about the reigning, defending, undefeated SWAC champs, and we are the Celebration Bowl runner-up for the second time in a row. They have us at number 3, and of course they're gonna have us at number 3 because we lost a lot. We lost a lot on the team. We pretty much, um, we pretty much had to, whatever we got in coming in from for recruiting and commitments, we had to make that up for what we lost last season. And people would say, well, we lost everything, but you really got to understand only like nine players went to Colorado. The rest of them transferred to other schools, and then most of them graduated. And like I said, yeah, his son that went into professional. So yeah, we don't have anything, but let them tell that. But let them say that we don't have anything. Season coming up, August the 26th. Y'all will find out. Now, the main thing that we don't have is a quarterback right now. Everybody knows Shedeur Sanders did go to Colorado with his dad to play for him. No biggie. We thank you for your service to Jackson State, what you done for us for the last 2 years. Nobody has done what you have done since then. All right. We lost Savion Wilkinson. Thank you for your service. We lost Shane Hooks to Auburn. Thank you for your service. We lost Willis Patrick to TCU. Thank you for your service. We lost Travis Hunter. Thank you for your service, and thank you for changing the narrative that a 5-star can go to an HBCU. So, but what we lost, we gained in more players being committed this season and for next season than what most people already think. We're on a whole different wavelength. So I will say this. And we got a new head coach. Let me rephrase. Let me get that on there too. We got a new head coach with TC Taylor. And all that man has done is went out there, told us to stand by, wait. When we stand by, we basically get players after player after player after player after player because they want to play for the school. They want to play for TC. They want to play for that block. I'm going to put it just like that. So all those haters out there, y'all could just chill. All the haters out there, y'all could just chill. All right. All right. So, but let's get back to it, y'all. Let's get back to it. Amber, Mr. Campbell, do not feel sorry for us. He is pretty much happy that they took everything from us. Like a thief in the night. But anyway, man, let's get back to it. Number 4 on the list is Southern University. And just like Jackson State, Southern really backdoored themselves into the SWAC championship game because Wide Prairie View couldn't cut it against Valley. And Andrew Body had to get injured. And they had to lose a 10-point lead. All right. That's how Southern gets into the SWAC championship game. Of course, they rank Southern high because they did make the championship game under Dooley's first year at Southern. losing to Jackson State. And the thing about this is, I think they should be lower than this because you lost to your rivals twice. First one was a fat old goose egg. Where is Timona at? Because goose eggs all around the board, goose eggs all around the board, goose eggs all around the board. What's going on, Willie? uh, but but Southern's in the same predicament as Jackson State. They don't know who their signal caller is. They don't know who their play caller is. And I hope Dooley is not going to be so stubborn. I hope he's not going to be stubborn to if whoever he names as his quarterback, if he stinks up the joint, get him out the game. What you did to Bubba McDaniels was a travesty. What you did to Bubba McDaniel last year was absurd. That kid should have played majority of the season. Rashawn McCray should have been a receiver, as he was when he was at Hines. He should have been a receiver. He was never supposed to be the quarterback. The thing about this is, with the Southern's defensive line, you pretty much replacing majority of your defensive starters. You're pretty much replacing majority of your defense starters, especially that defensive line. Back end looks shaky except for Jordan Carter. We talked about that on Saturday. And I don't know. You got a lot of work to do. Southern has a lot of work to do with their defense. And I also have to figure out who the heck their quarterback is. I will give them this, that they do have a strong running back room. They do have a decent offensive line, but whoever your signal caller is, that's what you need to worry about. That's what you need to worry about. I'm gonna put it just like that. And Adrian, don't even say anything because I'm gonna tell you, y'all need to worry about who y'all have as your quarterback. But read these comments up in here. Oh Jesus. Are we going for people next? All right. Next on the list, number 5. It's the boys from DC, Howard University. Of course, they had a slow start. They had a slow start to their season. That MEAC challenge last season, I felt like Howard should have won the game. Quarterback play was iffy. I always said that I would never bet on Howard. But throughout the season, they gave me some sort of glimpse to where I can actually kind of steer myself into liking them. All right. But I would say this, Coach Scott is doing a phenomenal job with the pieces that he has there. I think as far as Central, I think Howard has the best running back room in their conference. They do return a play caller in Quentin Williams. The best thing about him is he knows how to throw a deep ball. He has the experience, but his downfall is he suffers in the intermediate and the short passing game. So hopefully um he basically gets it going, gets it done for Howard. They do have a good defense. They pretty much returned a lot of players from last season, and they also brought in some more players. So this ain't the same Howard team that y'all been seeing for the longest. That's been abysmal in like the doormat of the MEAC. So they got along. They're coming up along. You know, they're coming along as we speak. And if I had my friend, my Howard alum, Erica, on the show, she would tell you everything about Howard. Even my cousin, I forgot my cousin went to Howard, so I put her on here, man. Oh Lord Jesus. Next on the list, we got Alabama State. We got Eddie Robinson that's coming off his first year as a head coach in any capacity. Um, of course, he's a defensive guy, so his team is pretty much going to be defense. Now, the thing about this is, if he has somebody to develop Demetrius Davis, then this will be a whole different story. If he doesn't, then you're going to see the same season that they had last year, or they might regress to even more. They might be below 500. But it is a challenge just for them to even stay competitive in the SWAC East with the likes of not Alabama A&M, but the likes of Jackson State and FAMU um, breathing down their necks. But to me, it this this is another way, something like Dooley. If the QB is not doing what he's supposed to do, if he's inadequate, if he is, what's the word I'm looking for, inept, are you stubborn enough? Will you be stubborn to keep him in, or will you be like the Sandman from the Apollo and yank him off the stage? That's the only thing that I have. And that's the only question that you have. It's the quarterback spot. It's the quarterback spot. Number 7 on the list is North Carolina A&T. North Carolina A&T, basically, last season they were in the Big South. So, I mean, it's the Big South. It ain't an HBCU conference. So we don't really get too much we don't really give A&T their just due. So pretty much, you're on your own. But no, they were pretty much a half away from the Big South title. There was half away from going to the playoff to get that automatic bid for the conference, but they got destroyed by Gardner Webb on the last game of the season. I think they scored 45 on them. Now, guess what? They go into another conference. They go into the Colonial Athletic Association, aka them folks up there. Yeah, I'm just gonna say them folks up there. So not only does A&T go to a new conference, they go into a new conference with a new head coach. And we already know they fired Sam Washington after probably like a couple of weeks after the last game of the season, which I should have said, if you were gonna let him go, you should have let him go right after the game. Don't wait till like a month or so after the season. Now you got to bring in another head coach to try to get everything going and to make sure that you preserve your recruits that actually committed or you offered to come to your school. So now Vincent Brown, aka the Undertaker, he comes in with a pedigree coming from the NFL. Actually a SWAC alum from Mississippi Valley. He's coming in to turn his program around and to get them back on, from what everybody else say, to get them back on their winning ways. But I don't think you will see them being back 2016 to 2017 A&T because of the simple fact of the conference that they play in. And everybody in the chat is going ham. Oh Jesus. Y'all know y'all arguing with Adrian about talking about Southern getting back not being backdoored into the conference championship. That's asinine right there. But he don't know that. All right, next on the list is South Carolina State at number 8. Now, we talk about South Carolina State. We talk about the main person we talk about is Buddy Pugh. Buddy Pugh pretty much basically take homegrown talent and turn them into NFL standouts. Just check the man's resume. But this season, last season, let's just call it what it is. It was an aberration. It was horrible. The QB play was horrible. The running game was terrible. Like, was super horrible. I think they were second to last in the conference in rushing. They do bring back a championship winning quarterback in Corey Fields. I will say that they bring back Corey Fields, but which Corey Fields are you going to get? Are you going to get the Corey Fields that took you to the Celebration Bowl in 2021, or are you going to get the Corey Fields that regressed in 22? Which Corey Fields would you get? Now, like I said, Corey Fields does not have Shaq Davis to throw the ball to. That ship has sailed and gone. He's in New Orleans now. But who will emerge as the top playmaker for South Carolina State? We've already know that South Carolina State has a defense to match up with anybody in HBCU football, but it's all about who is going to be, what team are you going to get? What team are you going to get? What team will come out this season? Okay. Thank you. And number 9, we got Morgan State. Now, like I said, Morgan State is a special case. Why? Because Morgan State waited until like early spring to hire Damon Wilson. So, of course, Damon Wilson comes in from Bowie State, leading that program to big time prominence in the CIAA. But having them hire Damon Wilson with pretty much for him not to get somewhat of a recruiting class, I just feel like, in a sense, he had to do what he had to do with the team that he had. But now, given the fact now he has a whole recruiting class and he's a defensive minded coach, the only question about Morgan State is who your quarterback going to be. Is the AARP, the AARP recipient Carson Baker? Like I said, is it Deuce Taylor? What's going on, Craig? Is it Deuce Taylor? That's who is your quarterback going to be? Alfonso Graham, he's gone. He's in Pittsburgh now. So what you got? And I think this Morgan is probably like another year or so from competing in the MEAC. I give him one more recruiting cycle and he'll be able to compete in the MEAC. And last on the list is Prairie View. Prairie View, of course, they were the 2021 SWAC West champs. Last season, didn't even get to sniff the championship game. And We already know what happened. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how's it going,
How
man?
you doing, Mr. Ford?
All right, can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. I'm just listening.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Prairie View comes in, they are in the top 10. Like I said, they won the West in 21. Last season, they didn't even get close to going to it. They were close, but all they had to do was beat Valley. You beat Valley and everybody else lose. You go to the championship game. But the second year in a row, you don't beat Valley, and pretty much you gave opportunities to other teams to take your spot. But other than that, I mean, Prairie View was in the same situation as Jackson and FAMU, starting the season off with the rival, and pretty much if you win the game, you ahead in the conference in your division. You lose the game, you behind in your division. So it's pretty much it's pretty much like I mean I can't say, I can't really say. And then the other team that received votes were Tennessee State, and that's it. But that is the poll for HBCU game day. The staff that did it. So that's what came up right there. So I'm gonna leave it to the people to give me their opinion about it. What do you think, Mr. Ford?
Listen, before we talk about the poll, I think it's imperative that those Texas schools step up and be a threat to win the SWAC. I want Texas Southern and I want Prairie View to strike fear in some people's hearts. I need for them to step up. I need them to be a threat. I need them to be perennial powers out in Texas. That makes us a truly, because if you look at the SWAC now, it's basically Mississippi, the Alabama schools, Florida, then my school, Louisiana. The Louisiana schools have gone down. They need to come up. But it would really help us if those Texas schools would step up. If Prairie View and Texas Southern could become perennial winners. That
Mm-hmm.
would really help this conference. That means we got big time teams from the state of Texas all the way over to the state of Florida. Now
Right.
that's a super conference, and I really want to see that happen. I want Texas that like they say in Brooklyn. Where you at, Brooklyn? Where you at, Texas? Where you at, Texas?
Boy, Craig, will tell you.
Uh,
You say you right. You right.
mhm. And before I go on, let me tell you this. You were calling out them rappers' name. Now, I do remember my children used to talk about C Note. Now, tell me about who is C Note?
It's from the Botany Boys. They from South. He from South. Uh, from Southside Houston, Texas. He
Uh-huh.
was the first. His He was the first one to what's the saying? Because I think he was the first one to go to DJ Screwhouse to do an actual tape for himself.
Okay, so now was his apex the 90s, the
Yeah,
early 2000s,
so
2010? Huh?
it was the earth mid 90s to late
Uh-huh.
90s into the 2000s. He still rap. Yeah,
What,
that's right. He from Cloverland. He's the same neighborhood as Lil Flip.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Now, Texas, do y'all claim Master P or is that Louisiana? Who claims him?
Louisiana.
Okay, he's Louisiana. That's right. But didn't he have a lot of business interests in Texas or something? What
Yeah,
was?
yeah, remember because he went to the University of Houston.
That's right. I knew it was something. Yeah. Okay, that was the connection.
Mhm.
Universe. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. But
So,
I enjoyed you calling out the list because some of them, like I said, I do remember my children talking about C Note and I remember Master P because he was more '90s. What was Master P the '90s or 2000? When was?
yeah, Master P was more mid to late '90s, early.
Yeah, he was really hot. I remember he was really hot one while. No, was he No Limit? What was he? What
Yeah,
was his
No
stuff?
Limit. No Limit. Yeah, because it
No
was.
Limit. That was that. Listen, we was hearing that all over the country.
Oh
No
yeah.
Limit.
Oh
No
yeah.
Limit. Yeah, I remember Master P.
But yeah, but uh, it was crazy because the man did what he enjoyed, he wanted to do, and he was on that stage, and
Right. Now, and I'm sorry. Who was the guy? I think Pokey, right? Was it Big
yeah,
Pokey?
Big Pokey.
Yeah, it hit the national news. I did see it today in the USA Today, and I saw it a couple other places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
It is.
yeah. It did hit the national news.
It kind of hurt. It hurt a little bit because it's like when you see something like that. It was when you see something like that the day that he passed away the day before Father's Day. That kind of just takes a lot of the air out of just celebrating being a father. So
Right. Okay. How old was he?
45.
Woo. He was young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he was one of my favorite rappers, and he
Oh
went
yeah.
he went to Blinn and he went to Abilene Christian to play foot. He played football. So
Oh, he played at Abilene Christian.
and Blinn
Oh
College.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Blinn. Now is that where Cam Newton went to Blinn? Where did Cam Newton go?
he went to Blinn.
He went to Blinn. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Down there in Brenham in the
Yeah.
country
Yeah. I've heard about Blinn.
where they make bluebell ice cream.
Oh, that's where they make it.
Yep, that's where.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, did you get? I heard about a lot of bad weather in. Was it Arkansas, Texas?
Louisiana, Mississippi.
Right.
So,
How was the weather in Dallas?
so the weather in Dallas right now, Mr. Ford, is hot as hell.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
Okay.
hot, and I'm saying when I'm saying it's hot, Mr. Ford, it was hot. Like the storms that came through, like a couple of days ago and stuff. Like it was hot, but it was humid here. And I'm talking about it's like 99 degrees outside, but it's 100% humidity outside too. And
Right.
that
Right.
don't mix. They don't mix for us in North Central Texas. Now you can
Right. Right.
get that down, Mr. Price. Like you can get that down in Houston
Right.
and the coast, but not going up north. It was humid out here, and I told people I was like, I don't even want to sit on the patio and smoke my cigar like I usually do at night because it was
Right.
it was that hot. It was that hot. But yeah,
Right. Right.
I know it's supposed to be a little bit of rain when we go down to Mississippi on Thursday, so we just gonna
Uh-huh.
make sure to keep our head on the swivel.
Right. Well, I want to say my one word when you were talking about Southern. You said Southern at number 4, right?
Yes, they ranked Southern number 4.
That's overrated. That's overrated. They no, no, that's overrated. And I know some people gonna be upset with me, but until they can show me, like you said, that they can make adjustments, because I'm still kind of pouting about that whole quarterback situation last year. And like you said, the way they did to McDaniel's kid, I thought was awful.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna say
to be honest with you, I don't really think they should be in the top 5. You know what? I could make an argument they shouldn't be in the top 7.
woo.
Yeah. Hold on.
Now, if you want to do a poll where it's
Yeah.
all HBCU teams, I will take Southern out. I will put in Benedict, Because I will go back and tell you what teams I will put out them, and then the teams I will put in. Because like I said, I don't think Southern, like you said, until they until Dula can figure out his quarterback situation, until he figure out what they're gonna do as far as with defense, because they lost a lot on defense. Because that's their, to me, I feel like that's their calling card. They lost a lot on defense. You gotta let me know what's up. So now, I would take, if I was to do something like that, I would take Southern out and put Benedict in.
Yeah, and I saw what Mike said that when I got on, it was going to be all swag. No, Mike, I do respect Coach Trey Oliver. I've watched Oliver since he was an assistant at A&T, and I do believe that the Celebration Bowl will be a rematch, and I think they should be 1, Jackson should be 2, FAM should be 3. Okay, I do not believe, other than South Carolina State, anybody is going to give Central a challenge. I truly believe that Central will defeat A&T again, and it could be bad again because they really beat their behinds in Charlotte last year. You remember that? They had the big game at the place where the Panthers play,
Mm-hmm.
and they put a whooping on that A&T behind him in front of the world. And I think they might do it again.
I'm gonna tell you one thing: they better start sleeping on Valley right now. Shoot, Valley just got another commit from Charlotte.
Oh, from the University of UNC Charlotte.
Yep.
Okay, that's good.
It's a tackle, so
yeah.
They better
I
start.
really don't see, but right now I'm thinking that the MEAC will be Central and then South Carolina State, and then the rest of them just wherever they fall. You sift them all; they're about the same. Because I hear you talking about Howard. I think Howard's got a lot of good personnel, but that quarterback situation that's not a championship pedigree for them to have that guy. I thought he was the holdup for them last year. And I thought at certain times, I thought that kid at Howard should have been benched.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it was times where he should have been benched, but
yeah,
it was also times where he actually kept them in the game.
Yeah, to me, he's a 2-read quarterback. Look at the play, whatever the play call is, look backside, and then he takes off. Because I like him when he takes off. He's a big kid. He's about 6'5", isn't it? What is he, 6'5"?
Yeah, he's 6'5",
6'5", yeah. Now, he not, I wouldn't call him a pro style, can read defenses and all that. For me, I would keep it real simple for him. Look to the play call. If that's not there, look to the backside for the deep. And then if it ain't there, take off. Take off. And that was one of the ways that they ruined Michael Vick after Dan Reeves left. They had him looking for 5 wide receivers. He wasn't that kind of quarterback. Dan Reeves gave him 2 options: play call, backside, go. And he was great doing that. He made him a threat with his feet.
Well, like you said, the top 3 teams, no questions about it. You can flip flop between Jackson State and FAMU. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'd rather for us to be number 3 right now. I'd rather for us to be number 3 in this poll. Why? Because you expecting the unexpected. Like you're talking about, because everybody expect, well, you lost a lot of players, you lost your head coach. Most of the coaching staff went to Colorado with him, or they retired. What do you bring in to satisfy that hunger and that you displayed last season?
Well, certain positions you got better. At certain positions you got better. Certain coaching spots, I know offensive line you got better.
Right.
I think you got better at offensive coordinator. So if we're gonna have credibility, I say that with all that stuff Jackson State coming, yeah, they should be number 2. I respect Central because they got all them people coming back and they won the Celebration Bowl. So I say, yeah, they should be at number one. But listen, with all that stuff Jackson got coming, listen, they should be number two. And I'm going to say it again. The Celebration Bowl in 23 will be a rematch of 22.
I heard what it said. Be back.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all got a bone to pick with them in South Carolina State. And I think you get it done this year.
We did. Yeah, we want our lick back.
Yeah, y'all got a bone to pick with them. I feel like now, me personally, with all the personnel you got, I feel like y'all should beat South Carolina State here in Atlanta by at least 2 touchdowns. I'm not putting too much on them. With that, all that y'all got coming back, I mean, with the kids you got coming in, you should beat them in Atlanta by 2 touchdowns. And I feel that you will have the rematch in December with Central. You win it. You take it.
Hey, I'll take anything that they give us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll take anything that they give us. So another thing.
But let me say this: I'm not buying this narrative about y'all just gonna run over fam in Miami now. I think that's gonna be a great game, and I know Zoe and them are saying, and ain't nobody gonna come to the game. It ain't gonna be but 20,000. I'm not buying that. See, that's another credibility issue again. I'm not buying that. Ain't but 20,000 people gonna come to Miami. I'm not buying that. Now, I think that game will be well attended. But now, let me say this.
Yes, sir.
You know, I respect Willie. I know y'all said Willie gonna Willie, but I respect Willie. Now, Willie gonna give y'all hell down there in Miami now.
Oh,
he gonna give y'all hell. You'll see though.
Absolutely. If he has a whole range, if he has his whole team there in September this year.
Yeah.
He did have I would give him a little bit the benefit of the doubt.
You
was down 20 players, 20 something.
Right.
So
that was last year. This a new year.
I would give him the benefit of the doubt. So
like
I said, I would see more of a game close like we saw in 21, not as low score, but I would see it being close like that. Now I was as far as with some offense and some scoring, yes, but it will be close.
Right.
But now,
and I agree with you. But listen, one thing I gotta say about the Florida A&M family, they got a mandate. And the mandate this year is very simple. Beat Jackson State. That's the mandate. Yeah. Beat Jackson State. And it's going from Tallahassee to Miami, from Miami to Orlando, from Orlando to Tampa to Atlanta, wherever them Rattlers are, they got a mandate. And the mandate is real simple. Beat Jackson State. That's the mandate.
Y'all heard it here first. Beat Jackson State.
Yeah.
But it was a thing that I just seen too earlier today, and it caught my eye on Twitter. So this is from Opta Analyst.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically talking about the strength of schedule. Team by team strength of schedule heading into the 2023 FCS season. So the first team, the team with the hardest schedule, first on the list is Harvard.
Oh, and they got Howard this year, right?
Yeah.
They play good. That's the Ivy League, isn't it? What is that? Isn't that called the Ivy League?
Yeah, it's the Ivy League.
They got some good teams. That's Princeton, Harvard. Yale usually has a good football team, right?
Yeah. So
what about Dartmouth?
Dartmouth, they were 3-7 last year. So this is their schedule, right, for this year.
Uh-huh.
So September the 16th, they play St. Thomas. Now St. Thomas went from Division 3 to jump up to Division 1. Now they're eligible to play to get a playoff spot because they're making that transition. But last season they were 10-1 in the Pioneer League. They were 10-1 in their first year in Division 1. They were 10-1.
Now is Pioneer made up of teams all over the country? Is that California? Where Pioneer?
Yeah, it's like California. I know Ohio because Dayton. A couple.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. I think I've seen that stuff. Yeah.
and Davidson in North Carolina.
Right. Davidson's where the shooter from Golden State comes from, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's North Carolina.
So September 22nd they played Brown. So Brown was 3-7.
Right.
They got Holy Cross. You know, Holy Cross was in the Patriot League.
Remember Gardy Lock Bomb?
And they was in
Yeah.
12-1 last season.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah.
they got Cornell, which they was 5-5. Howard on the list is,
Uh-huh.
they were 5-6. Princeton last season was 8-2. Dartmouth was 3-7. Columbia was 6-4.
Hmm.
Penn and Yale were 8-2 respectively. So pretty much they have the hardest schedule. They have the toughest schedule um, for this year, and it's
Right.
all
Right.
based on last year. Number 2 was Nichols in the Southland Conference.
Right.
3, Elon. 4 is Cal Poly. 5 is Campbell.
Okay.
6 is North Alabama. 7 is Yale. 8 is East Tennessee State. 9 is
Ooh.
Arkansas. 10 is Northern Arizona.
Wait. You said is that Arkansas Pine Bluff?
Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 is Northern Arizona. Number 11 is South Dakota State. Number 12 is Delaware. Now, tied for 13 is Eastern Washington and Mississippi Valley.
Whoa. So Valley ain't running from nobody, huh?
Valley ain't running from ducking nobody.
Nobody. They want that smoke.
Right. Remember, Valley
Okay.
Central they played North Carolina Central. They were 10-2 last season. Jackson
Right.
State, we were 12-1 last season. I think FAMU, of course, they were 9-2. You got on their schedule, they got Alabama A&M, Alabama State was 65. Yeah, Valley got a hard schedule.
So how many games you think they can win? Can they win 5?
I think they can win at least 4. I
They
said
can win 4.
5.
Okay.
I said 5, but I'm gonna kind of smooth it out because everybody think I was smoking on something when I said they'll win at least 5 games for this
So
year.
you say 4?
Like 4 in a push. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna do this like I'm Spades tournament right here. 4 in a push.
So you think they're gonna upset somebody?
They might upset somebody.
Right. Okay. So that would be the 5th one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
And then North Carolina A&T got a hard schedule too. Like I said, North Carolina A&T has a schedule because why? They're in the CAA.
Hey, yeah, that's right.
So let's see. Let's see anybody else. I think Bethune-Cookman coming in at number 34.
Okay.
Texas Southern coming in at number 35.
Okay.
Hampton coming in at 43.
Okay.
Let's see.
Now, where all them talking heads that say we don't play nobody in the SWAC? We don't play nobody at all. You remember that mess? The first 2 years of what was it? Dion's first 2 years is all about it. The SWAC don't play nobody.
Yeah. Southern and Alabama State, respectively, 54 and 55. Let's see. Alcorn at 63.
Okay.
Alabama A&M at 71. South Carolina State at 75.
Okay.
Pine Bluff at tied for 79 with Stonehill. Oh yeah. Grambling at number 90. Norfolk State at 92. Prairie View at number 95. Delaware State at 96. Morgan at 98. Central at 100. FAMU at 106.
Well, you know, FAM was gonna be with them 2 Division 2s on there. You know, they were gonna put them real low.
Tennessee State at number 113.
And even though they're playing Notre Dame,
Yep. Remember, because they're not
oh,
playing.
they're playing.
They're not
I
playing
know they're playing Norfolk State.
Norfolk State.
Do they play Lane again?
No, they don't play Lane.
Oh, Lane. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that it would be stiffer since Notre Dame is on their schedule.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah. Jackson State at 120. Howard at 122. And that's it. So Howard
And so how many schools are in the FCS? Is it 200 and something?
128.
128. Okay.
Hmm.
120.
Now remember, you got some schools that's like I said, they transition from Division 3 to Division 1, which is St. Thomas. Then you got Kennesaw State transition from
Right. That's right.
FCS to FBS.
Yes, that's right. They're going Conference USA next year, right?
Right. They're going Conference USA next year.
That's right. Because I think they were in the ASUN. Were they ASUN?
Yeah, they were in the ASUN last season.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So the ASUN, remember this year the ASUN and the WAC formed a new conference as the United Athletic Conference.
Okay.
So that's strength of schedule. So a lot of people are going to say, well, we don't play anybody. Well, sure.
Yeah, they don't. That's what they used to. SWAC don't play nobody.
You play what's in front of you.
Yeah, that's what I say. Listen, I don't have no problem with SWAC scheduling.
And we can't help the fact that teams that on your schedule had the records that they had last season either.
Yeah. Now, Doc, let me take that back. Now, I am offended by this Lincoln University stuff out of
California.
Isn't that California? Yeah. We can do better than that now.
Yeah.
Mr. Campbell, you hear that? Y'all can do better than that now. And who else put them? Didn't Texas Southern put them on the schedule? Who else put Lincoln on their schedule in the SWAC?
Shoot. Texas Southern.
I think Texas Southern, Florida A&M. Who else?
Yeah, Southern, FAMU.
Southern University put them on theirs.
Yep.
We can do better than that, the Jaguars.
Yep.
Let's not schedule recreation teams. Yeah, I'm up. Listen, we got too much going to be scheduling Lincoln out of California now. Because are they NAIA? I know they're not Division II, are they?
Yeah, they NAIA.
Yeah.
They're trying to get Edward Waters played them. Now if it was a Division II team, that's not a problem. It's like Lincoln playing a Division II team is no issue. Lincoln playing another NAIA team is no issue.
Yeah, that's right.
But when you playing them of course, most people playing them because one, they need the money, but two, we need to make you trying to make sure you look good.
Well, let me say this to the Southern University fans. How about y'all bringing Benedict down there so Chennis Berry can audition for y'all? Bring Benedict down there instead of playing Lincoln so y'all can get a look at how he runs a program, because you know what? You might have to give him a call.
Now, I will agree with what Craig said. He said Lincoln got a better schedule than most of the SWAC got a better.
Who said that?
Craig.
Now, is that Craig? That's Texas Southern?
Yep.
All right, Craig.
Hey, Craig. I give it to them. They do got to some of these schools in the SWAC. So I will give y'all that. I will give them that. So, but I just wish it would actually count. And if they're trying to get something as far as build their athletic program up, kudos to them. But I mean, to play a renegade schedule like that, you basically are the Virginia Lynchburgs.
Right. That's what I'm saying. We can do better than that now. Now, like I said, for us playing Lincoln, that's like University of Georgia playing Bleehan College or something. Come on now.
He said,
we can do better than that.
Oh, I like this right here. I like.
What is it?
He said Stephen Gaither said Southern needs to call Winston-Salem for a true Pete Richardson classic.
Yeah, well,
No, I like.
but see, the reason I'm saying Benedict is because if homeboy don't get it right this year, I'm telling you, he on the hot seat. You will already see your candidate by bringing in Benedict, and you looking at Chennis Berry, because Chennis is somebody they need to look at.
Yeah,
They need to possibly bring him back as head coach.
that's cold with it right there.
What is that?
Cold with it. He said, "I Mr. Ford." You said, "Man, look, if he don't cut the mustard, man. The dude
Oh, if you don't
y'all
listen.
across the field, they're gonna be y'all next head coach right there."
Hey man,
Cold with
you
it.
know Southern made the most money last year. You know Southern had an $18 million budget last year, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, come on now.
Kudos to them. Kudos to them.
Yeah, they listen now. Listen, if you're gonna make $18 million, then you should be winning the SWAC. You should be. If you ain't winning it, you fighting for it.
Right.
And I didn't see no fighting for it last year. Like you said, they backed into that SWAC championship, but now, I can't see them people that not, the Southern that I know. I can't see them putting up with that foolishness much longer. Because Southern is a school that was built on championships. That's Arnett Mumford. That's Pete Richardson. I can't see them going with this mediocrity stuff.
Ooh,
I can't see that. Not in Baton Rouge.
Trave Laws.
Unless they've changed.
Ooh, Trave Laws. This is a good thing. You said he wished FAMU would have put Austin Peay on the schedule. That would have been better than having two. I would have kept that. If you want to put it like this, take off Lincoln University, keep West Florida, because that is going to be a good game.
Yeah, I can go with. But how about bringing that guy Quinn Gray from Albany State down to Tallahassee? He's one of your greats.
They don't want
in the FAMU Hall of Fame.
They don't want that smoke. They almost had that smoke last season, Mr. Ford. They lost. I mean, they beat them by 10, but they were struggling throughout the whole game.
But look, Doc, they are natural rivals. They're not even 100 miles apart.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is they don't want that smoke right now. The Alabama.
But listen, you bringing in one of your own. Here's a guy that was I think he in the FAMU Hall of Famer.
He might be a FAMU Hall of Famer.
Where's Mr. Campbell? Is Quinn Gray a FAMU Hall of Famer? I know he's a MEAC Hall of Fame, I think. Did he put anything in there yet? I think he's a FAMU Hall of Famer.
Why am I? Hold on, Mr. Campbell. Why am I being delusional? I just said keep West Florida on your schedule.
I could go with West Florida.
Somebody else on the schedule besides the Lincoln University. That's
why. Yeah, Lincoln University. Mr. Campbell, why y'all can't bring Albany State down there? Down there at Bragg Stadium, and you have a big home gathering for Quinn Gray. Quinn Gray took y'all to the Division I AA semifinals. I think y'all lost to Youngstown State, wasn't it? Y'all think, isn't that right?
Yeah, they did lose to Youngstown.
That was when Jim Trussell had Youngstown State. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Why you can't bring Albany State down there? Instead of Lincoln, Come on, Mr. Campbell.
University. Let's see what else going on in sports. Mr. Ford, I got a question to ask you. What did you think about the trade yesterday? Bradley Beal going to Phoenix for Chris Paul.
Well, let me say this. I'm a fan of both of them.
Right.
Now, the team that I actually thought would trade for Bradley Beal was the Philadelphia 76ers.
Mm.
I thought that he would match up really good with that Maxey kid and then send Beardman Harden back to Houston. But now let me say this. It's going to be hard. Well, the chemistry, let's see what that chemistry is going, because that was a good chemistry. You had Chris Paul, the ultimate point guard.
Right.
Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. Now, you got to get the ball to Booker and you got to get it to Durant because you know how Durant is. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, Bradley, to me, is a star. And I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe it's going to work out. But I really thought that Bradley would be better in Philadelphia. That's why I thought that's the team that really needed him was
He would,
Philadelphia, the 76ers.
he would have played with Tyrese, man. I remember I watched Tyrese when he was in high school over at South Garland.
Right.
He was a dog. I would put because then that brings Tyrese back on as far as being the actual natural point guard and sends Harden somewhere else.
Yeah. Because I think doesn't Harden want to go back to Houston?
Yeah, he wants to go back to Houston, but of course I feel like he want to go back to Houston because of the club scene, the nightlife.
Well, he needs to go back because that experiment in Philadelphia, that didn't work, and let it go. And like I said, I thought Bradley Beal would be the perfect person to go to Philly, but I think that Bradley will do one thing I always liked about Bradley. Bradley is not really a point. He's what we call a combo guard. He can do it all. Bradley can play the point and he can play the two.
But he's more of a two guard to me than
Yeah. But now the main thing is under the leadership of Chris Paul, Devin Booker has emerged as a superstar. Because you got to remember about Devin Booker now. Devin did not start at Kentucky, even though he came there with all the accolades. I think he was Mike Don's All-America. Yeah, but he turned into a superstar playing with Chris Paul. Okay? And we want to see that continue with Bradley Beal. Because to me now, I love Chris Paul, man. I love his on the court stuff, but I love Chris Paul off the court also. Because the stuff that Chris Paul is doing for these black colleges is awesome, man.
I think when it comes down to it, I feel like the deal to Phoenix didn't make any sense. The reason why I say it didn't make, I'm gonna tell you the reason why it don't make no sense for me. It don't make no sense because Phoenix gave up its young players.
Yeah, for Durant. They gave up the entire bench. Yeah, for Durant.
You gave up almost your whole entire bench for Durant,
which hurt them in the playoffs. Yeah, that's true. Right.
But with Bradley Beal, now Bradley Beal can score the ball. He's a true scorer. He can shoot, come out, pin down screens, like whatever, baseline, whatever. I like what he does when it comes offensively. I hate what he does defensively. Like, he's a defensive liability.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Devin Booker is a defensive liability. I ain't gonna call KD a defensive liability because he can actually play defense. If the man want to play defense, he can play defense.
Right.
But the man that's gonna be the person, the one that's gonna be the odd man out is DeAndre Ayton.
I thought he should have been traded for all that money he makes.
Traded.
I thought he should have been traded. But now, one thing I do like about Bradley Beal, with him at point, he makes sure that everybody touches the ball. Now, the reason that's important to me, because we got a hog over in Atlanta.
Trae Young.
Yeah, he's like a black hole. He gets the ball, holds it the whole 24 seconds, and then and maybe he waits the 6 or 7 seconds. If he don't have a shot, then he passes. But the way that Bradley plays the point, the way that Chris Paul plays the point, I love that. I love it. To be honest with you, I wish we could get Chris Paul over here and send what's his name, Trae Young, out there with LeBron, because that's where he want to go. He want to be Hollywood, so go to the Lakers. That's what I wish for Atlanta.
Man, I think people was talking about DeAndre Ayton coming to the Mavericks because we're letting Christian Wood go.
Right.
Like, that's the dumbest thing that should ever happen. And you shouldn't let him go, because with the rotation that we had, that Jason Kidd was putting the rotation out there, Christian Wood should have been on the floor, and Dwight Powell should have been on the bench. Simple.
Okay.
Simple.
Yeah.
You mess up the chemistry, like, right there. Plus,
yeah, I thought Dallas needed a little bit more board power. They need some people in that paint, because these teams now trying to play basketball without a center. Because that's what I was telling people about the Miami Heat. To me, Bam is not a center. They played the whole year without a center. And that's why this team in Denver is going to be a threat for at least the next 5 to 7 years because they got a center.
Well,
Because everybody now want to camp out around the 3-point line, and that's all they want to do is shoot threes. And that's why Denver is going to kill teams because they got a center.
well, with Miami this year, they kind of followed that recipe that they had about a couple years ago, but about some years ago when they had Joel Anthony was a center, but he really is a power forward. And that's how I think that's the same way that they did Bam. But Bam actually played center at Kentucky.
Well, Doc, let me say this. If it goes status quo and these people continue to have these 4 people outside that 3-point line, I'm telling you, Denver is going to dominate in the NBA for at least the next 5 to 7 years. I'm telling you now.
Of course.
I'm telling you.
I don't see nobody stopping Jokic.
Yeah, with what he's doing, because he plays down low. Nobody wants. That's one of the things I get mad with Embiid about. Now Embiid, isn't he 7'2"?
Yeah.
Why you shooting all them threes?
Try to make him look
down low.
Try to make him look good. Also,
what happened to the post-up game?
Well, the post-up.
What happened to the intermediate shot? What happened to the hook shot?
But the post-up game, it's still some dudes out there that do play the post-up. They play down low. Intermediate shots, like the mid-range game.
The mid-range game. What happened to that?
It's all about the 3. If it ain't about the 3, it ain't about nothing else. It will hit it right there on the spot. AAU.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
The AAU has diminished it. And it's crazy because I was watching a video where I was watching a clip of Carmelo. Hold on, Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell coming in.
Okay, all right.
I was watching a clip with Carmelo. He was teaching his son and his teammate shooting drills and basically like how you will react in an actual NBA game or actual college game, like swinging a ball to the outside man, or
right,
shooting an actual mid-range jump shot. And y'all know Carmelo was the mid-range king. Man, have you in the damn spin cycle on the baseline.
How old is the son? How old is he?
Cayenne is like 15.
So is he 6'6", 6'6"? How tall is he now?
Right now, I think he's like 6'3", 6'4".
6. Okay. Okay. Well, he got the genes to do it now, because like I used to tell everybody, now one thing about Carmelo, now he could shoot the ball, but that's all he was going to do. He wasn't going to rebound. Now you talking about a liability on defense, really wasn't going to play no defense. But now he wanted to take all the shots. Now that was him. He was going to take all the shots. But he wasn't going to be complete. He wasn't going to do that.
I just said, there you go, Mr. Campbell. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, look, I'm not going to be on here long. But see, this is what happens when you let a person with Grambling just go on and on and on. That Grambling education shows up. Now, see, I love Mr. Ford.
There you go.
Now, see, there's a difference between being a historian and then knowing the game. All right, now let me clear this up. You don't play Joel Embiid on the low post because the way the game is played, you put him at the high elbow. Because when you put him at the low post now, that's the easier way to double team him. That's why Joker and them play the high post now. Because you can't double team somebody from the high post. So that's the reason why they do that. It has nothing to do with a skill set far as that. It's more of defensive strategy. That's why you don't see guys automatically, when people used to fight through the screen and stuff.
Yeah.
Or now you see everybody switching everything. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is now, because the floor is so spread, you got to switch, because if you try to fight through that screen, that dude is already to the basket because there's no second line of defense. Okay?
I get
That's
you.
I'm a basketball guy at heart. Now, when y'all start, and I'm a two things I know: basketball and college football. Now, when y'all start talking that, I got to listen. I can't allow this channel to go off the rails because folks with Grambling want to sit up here and throw shade at FAMU
Hey,
and at Southern
go
and
get a
Jackson State.
basketball coach for FAMU. Men and women basketball did. Since you basketball, go buy them a coach.
Well, listen. There's no secret on that. I can coach better than both of those jokers, but I'm just telling you, I know the reason why Joel Embiid plays at the high elbow compared to playing at the low post. I'm just telling you what I know for a fact.
Listen, he taking too many threes.
Listen,
and this what you talking about, Joel Embiid? What have they gone to the NBA championship with that strategy?
Well, no. First of all, they don't have the players to go to the NBA championship.
Well, that's why they should have got Bradley Beal.
No.
You can't get Bradley Beal at $250 million, and then you're gonna have to give away Maxey. You're gonna have to give away the French kid, and you're gonna have to give 2 or 3 picks. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So the money just doesn't even work. Washington gave. Let me tell you something. The only reason why Washington was able to do that deal with Phoenix, because Phoenix had that big contract with Chris Paul, so they could dump it. And Washington was just trying to get from under that contract.
But also, Bill had the right. Remember, Bill was the only other person that had a no trade clause in his contract. And guess what? That no trade clause goes straight to Phoenix with him this now because it carries on with him. He was the only one that could sign off on that deal. Like, if he didn't like it, he ain't going. It's different. It's different than what how KD was when he wanted to, when he wanted to leave Brooklyn. KD had no leverage. KD had no bargaining chip.
But Doc, that's not a problem. You know he's gonna leave Washington and go to Phoenix.
Well,
you got a chance to play with KD and Devin Booker. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, but what I'm saying was like any other team that came up with some sort of deal for him to trade for him, he wasn't going to say anything. He wasn't going to allow it because he was the one with the no trade clause. Nobody else.
He's gonna waive that. He's gonna waive that.
No, he already, he waived it. But what I'm saying is because his contract goes directly to Phoenix. That no trade clause in his contract stays directly with him. So if he
and Mr. Kimmel, you need to call your AD and tell her to go down there and beg Reggie Theus to leave Daytona Beach and come to Tallahassee. Why you talking all of that?
The only thing we need for Bethune-Cookman is just for them to bring their behinds to Orlando so we can whoop their butt. We don't need nothing else from Bethune-Cookman.
Y'all need Reggie Theus.
We don't need their coach. We don't need their band. We don't need them ugly jerseys. We don't need that ugly mascot. We don't need none of that.
Reggie Theus,
fam, you don't take no hand-me-downs. We the Don Dada. We the number one public HBCU. We don't beg nobody. We don't need nobody hand-me-downs.
Congratulations on winning the SWAC baseball. That was big.
That's just a prelude to what's gonna happen in the fall. Because let me, and Doc, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I see all my beautiful Jackson State people in there. But I'm just a student of history. See, I know most of these Jackson State folks, they just started watching football again when Deion came. They forgot about Jackson State for the last 15 years. But see, I remember something. They talking about FAMU getting beat by Jackson State these couple of years. But I remember clearly that Southern had beat Jackson State, 9 times in a row?
Dawson Odoms.
It was so bad that they were paying Southern to come whoop their behinds in Jackson at the Boombox classes in Jackson. But guess what happened? A new day change, and now Jackson State done beat Southern 3 in a row. Same thing with Grambling. Grambling had beat them 8 times in a row. You didn't hear anything, but now Jackson State done beat Grambling 2 times in a row. So guess what? Every dog has his day. So just like that, when Southern was whooping on y'all and Grambling was whooping on y'all, and y'all whooped on FAMU, guess what? Now we gonna start our streak because the same thing with, and Mr. Ford, just a little history for you. And I think you'll understand it. When you guys won those back-to-back SWAC championships, right?
Was that the Kincaid years? Was that the Kincaid years?
Correct. Kincaid years. Did you think that team was gonna come back loaded, ready to rock and roll again the 3rd year?
I knew the quarterback was going to be a question mark. That boy was great. That kid was great.
So Jackson State, let me tell you a secret. Grambling went undefeated back-to-back years. Had a bomb quarterback. Had all conference players. And when that quarterback left, Guess what? Something changed. I wonder what seems the same between Grambling and Jackson State. So stop acting like y'all done something that Grambling didn't just do 2 years ago, and Grambling actually won the Celebration Bowl.
Miss Paris.
Yep, the only one, right? The only one the SWAC won.
Exactly. So I just want to leave y'all with that. So yes, Jackson State beat us 4 times. 3 of them games that was the last play of the game, basically.
Mr. Campbell, before you go, some people are saying it's only going to be 25,000 at the OBC. What you say about that?
No, it won't be 40, but it'll be 30.
Yeah,
you think it'll be below 40?
No, yeah, it won't get to 40. It won't get to 40
because of the time or what?
Well, see, Jackson State schedule does, and I'm not mad at Jackson folks. All them folks is locked and loaded in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Then you expected people to go from Atlanta to Miami, and then don't they play Southern right after that?
Yeah, Southern.
And then they go down to Texas, right?
Texas, right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I mean, if I'm a Jackson State alum, I'm not being funny. I'm not coming to Miami because I'm definitely going to the Atlanta game. That's easy. That's a layup. Jackson State gonna say, matter of fact, it was so funny. I feel so sorry for South Carolina State. South Carolina State, let me tell y'all a secret. Jackson State gonna have 75 to 80% of that stadium. Ask Bethune-Cookman a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Atlanta, they're going to sell that thing out.
Mr. Campbell, Harris said, but didn't FAMU lose to beat?
Well, she's making my point. Thank you. See, this is the difference between Grambling education and Jackson State education. She actually is making my point. You're right. They beat us 10 times. Now we beat them twice. See how that works? Thank you. So a streak does stop. Thank you, Paris. Appreciate it. Well done, JSU. Well done. All right, Doc. I'm gonna let you have your show back. Once again, Mr. Ford, I love you. I'm just teasing with you. I gotta just mess with you and everything. It's all respect and everything with me. And like I say again, it's always respect for me because, like I say, I love Jackson State. Because 2 things I'm gonna say real quick. Grambling was the one that got my business started, and Jackson State was the one that got my family started back from 19. So I'm always gonna love them schools no matter what. And FAMU is what got me started. So I'm going to talk my talk, but I'm already going to respect everybody no matter what. So you ain't going to never hear me saying nothing crazy or disrespectful. So y'all have a good night.
It's the second bowl on September the 3rd. Good night. It's the all right, let's go. The bowl on September the 3rd. Oh, man. Man, you see that I told you that road schedule is brutal. The first 4 games, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, that's an FBS schedule.
I told you that first 4 games is brutal. That's the reason why I understand the reason why people said they weren't gonna go to Miami. One, I mean, you coming out for going to Atlanta, and then you got to go to Baton Rouge the week after you play in Miami, and then you go to Texas after that. So I'm like, no, you.
But Doc, I still got a problem with 25,000 people at the Orange Blossom Classic. I know they're going to do better than that. It's going to be more than 25,000 at the Orange Blossom Classic.
It might be 30,000. It might be 30,000.
Okay.
But one last thing before we roll up off of here tonight is I want to do something for the moderators. The moderators that's on this show that keep everything going, that pretty much make sure that we don't have no foolishness in the chat. The ones that be on here when I first come on and the last ones to leave. I appreciate y'all for stepping in and helping out with this channel, with this platform, because I won't be able to, I can't do this by myself. So I'm going to get here and appreciate y'all. And the one person I really want to put my appreciation to is Miss Aquay. Aquay, she's in the chat. Yeah. And when I'm saying she's a Jackson State alum, I ain't get a picture on there because I don't want to be like, you got my picture on there. But no, Miss Aquay has done so much for this channel, and make sure that get everybody to like the channel, to subscribe, comment, tell us about what's going on as far as with sponsor, all the things that I put out there. This woman has put it in the chat, and I don't know her from a bag of nickels. but it's the fact that she has done so much, and me and the missus actually want to uh do some as far as appreciation. So we're gonna um hit me up on Twitter, and we want to get your address because we want to actually send you something for making this channel the to be at the top. So just hit me up on Twitter, and we're gonna figure something out. We will be in Jackson on Thursday. So I know one thing I'm gonna do when I get to Jackson is get my stamp burger. Get my stamp burger, and we get to Jackson. I know I got to stop in Grambling because we get gas in Grambling. So
All right, Lincoln Parish.
so we stop and get gas in Grambling and
Lincoln Parish.
but man, I on the real, she talking about the teens. She's very influential when it comes to we talk about sports, especially about Jackson State because she's a Jackson State alum. Also, you know, only knock on her right now is she a Lakers fan. I don't like a Lakers, so I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a Mavericks fan. So
I was a Laker fan on the Magic and Kareem. Now I loved them.
but she has done so much for this channel, and I didn't even ask her to do any type of pub or nothing like that. She did it all. She did it all on her own. She has done it all on her own, and we as in myself and the missus, we appreciate what she has done for the channel. And the missus is walking out, so I'm gonna let her know that I gave Miss Aquay her appreciation. She gave me the thumbs up. So, like I said, just hit me up on Twitter. We'll get your info. That way, we can get you some as far as showing us showing love to you for doing everything that you do. And it ain't gonna to me. This ain't gonna stop. So round of applause. So all my moderators on here, man. I thank everybody for just being here and being genuine and stuff like that. So yeah, I got to put Blue on here because hell, if it wasn't for Blue, I wouldn't even. Blue been helping me with a lot of stuff, so I got to put him on here too. So I got to give him my appreciation also. So yeah, and we got to get to 1800 so we could get. I wish I could keep the show. You said going to 9:30. I don't know. Is Ken doing the show tonight? Because I usually stop at 9:00. I got to check and see if he's doing a show tonight. If he's not doing a show tonight, then let's see. Okay, so he's doing this at 9:30. So let me get on here and see who all the moderators is. Well, I got you, Paris. So you good, Paris? Yeah, I'm gonna get Blue. And everybody gotta show the love, the appreciation, then make sure that we can. I'll say so. We keep it rolling. All right.
Okay.
We keep it rolling. They said Ken don't start till 9:30. We keep it rolling. So that's how we gonna do it. Oh, the missus, she came up with an idea and she just said do a convo session. So a convo segment. So if anybody wants to come on here and whatever you want to talk about, we could talk about it, and it should be good. We could do that for the next 30 minutes. Paris, you a fool. Oh man. Oh man. So we got the NBA draft coming up on Thursday night.
Oh yeah.
Everybody know Victor Wembanyama is going to be the first pick.
At San Antonio, right?
San Antonio is automatically going to San Antonio. So to me, like, to me, I'm just saying, my whole thing is who's gonna be the number 2 pick? Because I think it's gonna be Scoot Henderson. He's a point guard, so let's see. Blue just came with a question. What's the biggest upset you guys see happening in the SWAC next season? You go first, Mr. Ford.
Wait a minute. Let me see. You got to call out some of them big games for me. Let me see now.
Let's see. Of course, you got your rival games. We got your
right now, the game that could be an upset, but the only thing is they in Bragg. I just feel like Alabama State's better, and I feel like they could possibly. I don't know. I'm gonna catch it for this, but no, I ain't gonna say. I was about to say them knocking off Fam at Bragg, but I ain't gonna say that because I know I've been to Bragg. I know how hard it is to beat them in Bragg. Let me see somebody else. What about What about Alcorn beating Southern? Would that be an upset?
I won't call that an upset.
That's not upset. Okay.
To me, I would say.
You said something about Valley. I'm trying to think who would Valley knock off Southern? What do they play Southern at? They don't play Southern.
I was gonna say Valley knock off FAMU.
Whoa! What now? Where's that game?
At Valley.
Okay, where do they play Southern at?
Might be down there
in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm. Like.
What about Texas Southern beating Southern? Would that be an upset?
Nah.
That's not upset.
It'll be to me, it'll be just a regular game. It'll be just a regular game.
So you saying Southern and Texas Southern, that's a toss-up.
Oh, he said Edwin said Southern don't play Valley this year.
Oh, okay. Southern don't play.
They drop them out the schedule. Ooh. It's another thing. Somebody came in, said something. Damon Shields. He asked me, "Did you see how pissed Chris Paul was when he found out he got traded on the plane?"
Well, you know what he's pissed about, right? Did you heard why he's pissed?
Isaiah Thomas.
Right, that's right. They said Isaiah Thomas is the one who floated the whole idea. Because as an executive, Isaiah Thomas is one of the worst. So if that man listened to Isaiah Thomas, listen, Phoenix gonna go back to losing again. Because Isaiah and Michael, they were terrible front office people. Mike was one of the worst owners. Isaiah was one of the worst general managers. I hate to say it, they were great players, but they were not great in the front office.
Right.
I'm trying to think. You said some more upsets.
Oh, Mr. Cameron gave us the upset. He said, "Family, the Southern or Texas Southern." Ooh, that would be an upset. Ooh,
yes, it would. That would be a terrible upset.
Yeah, and if y'all lose to Texas Southern in Houston, in November.
Listen, they'll have a parade. If FAMU loses to Texas Southern in Houston, they're going to have a parade after the game. Yard going to be wide open.
Yeah, they gonna. Ooh, yeah, you not gonna.
It's got to be one of them Western teams knocks off one of them Eastern teams. Because to me, all the fight is in the East. That's why I keep saying, I wish they would get rid of them divisions. And at the end of the season, pick the top 2 teams to play in that. Because the best teams are in the East.
Yeah, the best teams are in the East. The more, because your more complete teams are in the East.
In the East, yeah. So it has to be a Western team knocks off an Eastern team. Now, who could that be? Do you think, and I don't believe this, but you think Prairie View could go in there and beat FAMU on their homecoming? I don't believe it.
That would be an upset right there too.
Yeah, that would be an upset. Who from the West can beat Alabama State? Alcorn?
I think anybody.
Or would that be an upset? If Alcorn comes to Montgomery, knocks off Alabama State, would that be an upset, or is that just regular?
I would say a team like now upset. I would say a team like Grambling go to Alabama State and beat them at home. I think
Grambling beats up who?
Alabama State.
Yeah, so they do play this year, right?
I think so. Yeah, another upset would be Jackson State losing to Texas Southern.
Oh, yeah. That would be one of the top upsets in the country.
TC wouldn't hit. He wouldn't even hear it.
No. And they coming to Jackson, right?
Yep. I don't know.
Who do you have for homecoming? Who's Jackson?
We had Alabama State for homecoming this year.
Now, that would be awful if Alabama State takes y'all's homecoming.
That won't happen.
That would be awful. That would be awful, man.
That would not happen. Nah, they ain't gonna. That won't even fly. That would not even fly. So man, please, they have.
I think and another one, if anybody beats Central over there in that MEAC, that's a major upset. I can't see nobody in that MEAC beating Central.
I would give now, like I said, I would give Morgan State another year with another recruiting class to beat
Central.
Yeah. But I also would give I would actually take Howard. Like seriously, I would take Howard to beat North Carolina Central.
In the fall?
In the fall, yeah. I can see them beating them.
Okay, now where's the game? The game is in DC or in Central in Durham?
It's in DC this year.
Oh, Doc, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see Howard being on the same level with Central, man. Central's big game tested. Howard is still trying to beat 500. What's their record?
Their record was 5-6 last year, but like you said, they could have won. It was some games they could have won. That Yale game they played when they played Yale last season, they should have won the game. When they played Alabama State, they should have won that game because they was in the league.
And by the way, don't they have a new offensive coordinator? Who's they? Because Lee Hall left and went to Delaware State.
Right.
So who's the new offensive coordinator?
I got to talk to my friend from Howard. She should know who the offensive coordinator is.
Yeah, because they say that's we got to see who's the new offensive coordinator. Is somebody that's been around HBCUs? Is this somebody brought from FBS or what? Who is this guy?
I have to see myself. I had to see because I don't even know.
I don't either. I don't know who this guy is. You know what? I'm gonna let you and Blue be high on Howard. They got to show me. I'm gonna let y'all be high on them. And well, if they show me, because I like the C team, but right now I can't give them no. I can't. I can't be running around talking about Howard's gonna be, running against Central, because I don't even think they're on Central's level. I don't. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw him as an assistant coach, and I like what he was doing. I have a newfound respect for Trey Oliver.
I
do.
Can't say anything bad about Trey Oliver.
Me either. I can't say nothing bad about him. Now, right now, I think the conference is his. If he falters, I think it goes back to Buddy Pugh. Because we was talking the other night about them blue-blooded program. I don't know how Zoe left South Carolina State off that list. I don't. I don't know how he left South Carolina State. I've been watching South Carolina State since I was a little boy. This was before where everybody knows Willie Jeffries, but there's another man that was at South Carolina State that people have forgotten. His name was Horry Banks.
Okay.
Horry Banks, I think, was a Midwesterner. He came from Kansas somewhere, but he actually was coaching at Grambling, left Grambling and went to South Carolina State. That was in maybe the 60s. I have to look him up. But I remember his teams, Horry Banks, but the one who really just was the greatest of all time was probably Willie Jeffries.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was something else.
Let's see. Juwan Ford said Lindsey Lamar is the new OC for Howard.
What's his background? Where is he from? See if they'll tell you where is he from. What do you know about him? I like to know biography.
He was the wide receivers coach last year.
Oh, at Howard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you said Lindsey Lamar?
Lindsey Lamar, yeah.
I'll look him up tonight before I go to bed.
Yep.
Okay, Lindsey Lamar. Okay. I'll look him up.
So, it's Juneteenth today. And And I was saying, I told my daughter yesterday, she's like, what? I was like, she's like, well, I gotta go swimming. She got swimming lessons. Well, I got swimming lessons tomorrow, which was today. And she's like, it's Juneteenth. And it's Juneteenth on Monday. So Juneteenth? I had to tell her what Juneteenth was.
Yeah, I tell everybody my story. I didn't know anything about it until I was a student at Grambling, and a good friend of mine played on the football team. We called him Big Junior. He was from DeQuincy, Louisiana. DeQuincy's like right across the border from Beaumont.
Mm-hmm.
And he took me over. We went over to Houston. And that's when I learned about it. Now, one thing they keep saying on the national media that's incorrect is this whole thing about it freed us. That's not true. We were actually freed by an amendment. We were freed by the 13th Amendment. See, what you have to understand about the Emancipation Proclamation, it did not free all Black people who were enslaved. Right. Because you have to understand, when we had the Civil War, there were slave states that fought with the North. Mm-hmm. Missouri was a slave state. Kentucky was a slave state. Maryland was a slave state. West Virginia was a slave state, but they fought with the North. Right. And so really, to be honest with you, and I know some people are going to get upset about this, the Emancipation Proclamation wasn't even worth the paper it was written on. It actually was a document that was put together by Lincoln to keep the British out of the war, because people don't understand. When the Civil War broke out, the British and the French sympathized with the South because the South was providing them with raw materials. Right. Like I tell everybody, that Cinco de Mayo, that was about Black people. Because what happened at Cinco de Mayo was the French were defeated, and that stopped them from joining the Confederacy, because they were going to join the Confederacy. And many of those soldiers who defeated them were Black soldiers. Because during the antebellum period, when Black people would escape to Mexico, the Mexicans would give them guns and harbor them.
Right.
Yeah. So Just a little clarification there.
So another thing, you know, when you talk about Juneteenth, it was a military order. It wasn't a. It was a military proclamation.
Right.
It was done by the military because the war was already done in what earlier that year.
April, I think it was April 19th, 1865 was they signed at Appomattox Courthouse. I think I had to go look that up. I think it was Appomattox Courthouse
Yeah, but
that ended the war.
That ended the war. Now the proclamation was supposed to be done in 1863, y'all.
Right, that was the Emancipation Proclamation, right? But remember now, it didn't. What it did, it transferred black slaves from belonging to the Southern aristocracy to belonging to the federal government. That's what it actually did. Yeah.
Now remember, like 1863 was supposed to be the proclamation was supposed to be done in 1863. Remember,
right.
Abraham Lincoln gets assassinated in 1863, April of 1863. So
wait, he got assassinated in 1865.
No, he got 63.
No, it was right at the end of the Civil War. That's when he was assassinated either a week or 2 weeks after. Look it up right quick. What was the day Abraham Lincoln was assassinated? It was 1865. It was right after the surrender, when the Southerners surrendered.
Oh yeah,
I think the
yeah, you're right. 1865.
Yeah, because the Southerners surrendered, like you said, April 19th, 1865. That was Lee surrendered to Grant, Appomattox Courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a week or two after that, that's when John Wilkes Booth assassinated him.
Okay. Yeah. I see it now. I always get confused. But yeah, like, hey, and like I said, it's a Texas holiday, so pretty much we celebrated it to where like you see how we celebrate 4th of July, but now they made it so it took so long for it to be a federal holiday. And
well, they had to do something after the George Floyd uprising.
Yeah,
they had to do something because listen, America had condemnation from all over the world. The nation was in uproar, so they said, "Listen, let's do a holiday or something." And that's why they decided to make it a national holiday. It was a result of the George Floyd uprisings. That's what it was about, really.
All right. So question from Uncle Sid. Yeah, what do you really think of Hugh Jackson?
I'm waiting to see. I was really disappointed with last year because, Doc, I told you this many times. I still say it. I still think that the quarterback was the kid from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say? What's his name?
Amy.
Yeah, I thought he was the quarterback. And then when I saw that kid, I think the kid they went with was Hawkins, right?
Quaterius Hawkins from Bastrop.
Okay, I thought he was terrible. And then I remember watching HBCU Go televised the what do we call it? The game in Dallas. What do we call it?
Fair Classic.
The State Fair Classic. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I like that kid, that younger boy. Is it Calvez?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I saw some stuff in him, but I still think that the mishandling of that quarterback situation is the reason we went. Didn't we go 3-8?
3-8.
So I'm gonna say this again. SWAC football in Louisiana has fallen, and we got to get back up. Because now I ain't got to say this. Now I'm disappointed in Dooley. I'm disappointed in Dooley. Okay, but now Hugh Jackson, he got to roll this year now. He got to roll.
Now, Adrian Crook said, what if Hugh only win 1 or 2 games this season? What do y'all do?
Oh, listen, he gonna sit down on some charcoals.
Oh, we got Brother C. Lee up in here. Said the Emancipation Proclamation was a military document because the South was actually winning the war because it had more money due to the free labor. EP was designed to undercut that free labor.
And they had better leadership. Most of their generals in the Confederacy were West Point graduates. Stonewall Jackson, Robert E. Lee, all them guys was from West Point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had better leadership. The guy who was The Supreme Commander for the Union Forces, McClellan, he was terrible, man.
Right.
He was out there on the battlefield having 5-star dinners. He actually wanted to replace Abraham Lincoln. He wanted to be president. What turned the war was two things. They made Grant the Supreme Commander of the Union Force, and the second thing was they allowed 180,000 black soldiers to come into that war on the side of the Union. They won that war really in about 9 months. They're not going to tell you that, but it's the truth. Them black soldiers, and then see the other part of that 13th Amendment is they left in there something called peonage, which meant if they put you in jail, you were basically still a slave. And so after the war was over, they would go around and round up black boys and black men, and it was called convict leasing, which basically they re-enslaved us again.
Basically, it is the start of the modern day police force.
Yeah. It was called if you ever get a chance, look it up. It's called the convict leasing system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what they had to do was they made black boys and black men rebuild the South, because the South, throughout the southern states, it had been destroyed.
Yeah.
Because, they like talking about black folks don't like to work. Black people done rebuilt this country about 2 or 3 times.
Well, let's see. We got Blue said if Grambling don't take this massive step with Tony Hull running the offense, then it's time for massive changes.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like I told you, if they win 3 games this year, man, I'm telling you, man, that seat's gonna be beyond hot. It's gonna be beyond hot, man. Because, I think somebody, maybe Mr. Campbell said it. We've been irrelevant now since Kincaid left Grambling. We've been irrelevant. Ever since he left, he gave us those last 2 years on his career, and then after that, after he lost that game to A&T in the Celebration Bowl, we ain't had nothing to brag about. Nothing. That's not Grambling.
Right. Yeah. I'm hearing different things about him. Says he's always been a good recruiter, but for him calling plays and scheming, he said that's not up his alley. So to me,
where does he know Hull from? Is he talking high school, college? What is he talking about?
Tony Hull went to is it ULM? Did he go to
Lafayette?
Let me see. Tony Hull. I'm trying to. Let me see if I can search. So he was on staff with. He came from Louisiana Monroe.
Okay.
Staff with Coach Bowden.
Now, was he down there with Napier at UL Lafayette?
Monroe.
Oh, so he never was with Napier.
Right. No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Napier.
Okay, so if he was, that means he worked with Rich Rodriguez.
Yeah, he worked with Rich Rodriguez, but he did play at Louisiana Lafayette. So he from New Orleans. He went to Warren Easton.
Okay. Well, listen, like I tell everybody, it's coming. It's man, this season gonna be upon us, because you know what I tell everybody, June and July, that determines your season.
Mm-hmm.
If you hadn't planned, you hadn't strategized, you hadn't put the time in, you are not going to win during the season. Those are two very important months. All season is all important, but June and July,
Yeah.
them coaches better be meeting and them players better be working out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Tony Hull was on the Les Miles staff when he was at Kansas too. So
Oh, he was at Kansas.
yeah.
Okay. Hey, Doc, we're going to see. We're going to see because now they open up with Hampton. That ain't going to be no easy game up there. Now, you said that's not New York. That's New Jersey, right?
Jersey.
That's listen, you know Hampton's going to have some athletes now.
Well, here's a question right here for me. He said,
What is that?
Doc, do y'all think if Bruce Eugene was at Bama State or Grambling to work with QBs, would the QB play be better?
That's easy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that you don't say no to.
Miss Kevin, what did I want to throw shade at? Miss Kevin said, Mr. Ford wanted to throw some shade so bad. What is that about? What did I do? I still want y'all to go get Reggie Theus.
Right now, with Bruce Eugene, I would rather for him to go somewhere like in the BA or somewhere in SIEC. Somebody pick him up.
That's what I want. I want somebody to pick him up because that's a lot of knowledge. You know, he's a prodigy. He's this guy's been trained by Doug Williams. You know, he's man.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want if Grambling don't have a place for him, I think Southern should have a place for him. Bama State should have a place for him. I'm quite sure. Alcorn needs a quarterback coach and a darn offensive line coach and an offense coordinator.
Mm.
So Fred, somebody call Fred and tell him that Bruce Eugene is available. I've already said, can you imagine Bruce working with Body?
Oh, that would be nice.
You know, I can't believe, he said on your show that he talked to Bubba McDowell and Bubba wasn't interested in Bruce. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. So, listen, I don't know who they're going to get in Norfolk State next year because if my man Dawson, I'm a Dawson Odoms fan. If Dawson don't win, he out.
Oh, yeah.
Whoever gets that Norfolk job, guys, listen, consider Bruce Eugene as offense coordinator, quarterback coach, whatever, analyst, whatever.
Yeah, it will still be nice to see him in black college football again. So
I hope we get him. But I know sometimes, there's jealousy when it comes to coming back home. So yes, he has a place somewhere in the SWAC. Hey, I could see some. You know what? He'd be nice at Tuskegee.
Ooh, that'd be a nice fit too.
That'd be a nice fit, Tuskegee. I could see what's the name hiring. What's my man's name? Quinn Gray.
Mm-hmm.
I could see the guy Benedict. Chinnis Berry hiring him. Yeah, there's always a place for you.
Yeah. Yeah, man, but we'll see what happens, y'all. But man, I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. We about to swing up in there for Ken Clark and the 1400 Club with Zoe.
Right.
Everybody else, they got starting at 9:30 tonight. For more than likely, I'll probably be back on here. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, probably Wednesday. Only reason why, because we're leaving out Thursday morning to go to Jackson. And so everybody needs to, if you want to hit me up, everybody just hit me up on Twitter. I'll give you information. And Mr. Ford, the missus told me she needs your information ASAP.
Okay. All right. Let me see what okay. I guess when everybody close down, you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
But everybody, y'all make sure y'all tune in for the rest of this week. I will probably do my show on the road, so I would take my laptop with me. Still got to make some money on here. Make sure y'all want to donate to the channel, donate to the cause. Hit the Cash App if you can. Make sure you put that on here right here. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App. Like I said, all money goes towards the channel, not in my pocket. But other than that, y'all be safe. Y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay dangerous. We'll be out of this thing. We'll be back on here either tomorrow or Wednesday. Peace.